at least compared to London. Not less people, fewer people, because here we use less with uncountable nouns, right? But if the noun, like people, is countable, you can count people, right? One person, two people, three people. If you can count them, then it's fewer. There are fewer people here. Okay? So less with uncountable nouns like water, air, coffee, traffic. You can't count them. Fewer with countable nouns like people, cars, cups of coffee. You can count those. Okay. So this is the key to correcting this mistake is when you're practicing and thinking about it, just think, can I count this, right? If it's rice, you can't count rice. Rice? Two rice? No. You can count grains of rice, but not rice. So it's less rice. But if you're counting grains of rice, then fewer grains of rice. The other thing to do is generally memorize the most common confusions. And I think the three common ones are it should be fewer people, fewer cars, fewer tasks, because all of these are countable. If you solve this problem, you'll make fewer mistakes.
Okay, everyone, I will stop the share for the moment. So this is all about the difference between countable and uncountable nouns. So as you can probably guess, you use countable. Sorry, I'll just go back to this. You use less when you are talking about uncountable nouns, and you use the word fewer when you are talking about countable nouns. So, for example, you will say less water. Less water, because water is uncountable. You can't count water, okay? But something like books. Books is countable. You can count books. One book, two book, three books. So you talk about fewer books. I have fewer books than my sister. I have less water than my sister. Not fewer water. Okay, you have always say, I have less water to drink, not fewer water to drink, because water is uncountable. So I'll give you a short test on these. I'm going to give you a word, and I'm going to ask you if it's uncountable or countable. Ming ang, Ming ang.
Yes.
Music, is it countable or uncountable?
Uncountable.
Vietien. Vietien, oi.
Yes.
Apples, countable or uncountable?
Countable.
Correct. Quang.
Countable.
Yeah?
Yes.
Quang. Rice, countable, uncountable?
Uncountable.
Ding Lam.
Yeah, I'm here.
Cars, Ding Lam, countable or uncountable?
It's countable.
Good. All right. So far, so good. Okay. Ming Ang.
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me a sentence, please? Actually, no. Sorry, Lian. I'll start with you. Sorry, Ming Ang. I'll start with Lian. Lian.
Yes.
Okay. Advice. Is advice uncountable or countable?
I think it's countable.
Advice. Advice is uncountable, Lian. You can't say one advice, two advice, three advice. Doesn't make sense. Does that make sense, Lian?
Yes.
Okay. So advice is uncountable. So remember, you have to use less with uncountable nouns or fewer with countable nouns. So Leon, I'll start again with you. Leon, do you say less information? I have less information, or I have fewer information? Which one is correct?
I have less information.
Correct. Information is uncountable, so you use less. Ming Ang. Ming Ang.
Yes.
Okay. Talking about dogs, I have less dogs, I have fewer dogs. Less dogs, fewer dogs.
I have less fewer dogs.
Correct, because dogs is countable. So you use fewer with dogs. Viet Tien.
Yes.
I have less knowledge, I have fewer knowledge.
Lack knowledge.
Is correct, because knowledge, of course, is uncountable. Quang.
Yes.
I have less houses or fewer houses.
I think it's fewer house.
Is correct. Fewer houses. Houses. Ding Lam.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, the word is sand. Ding Lam,
Sand.
sand. I have less sand or fewer sand.
I have less sand.
Good. Sand is uncountable. Ming Ang.
Yes.
Okay. Ban mi. Ming Ang. I have less banh mi, fewer banh mi.
I have fewer banh mi.
I have fewer banh mi. Good. Okay. Leon.
Yes.
Ideas. I have less ideas than him, or I have fewer ideas than him.
I have less idea.
It's actually fewer. Ideas are countable. Okay. You can have one idea, two ideas, three ideas. Okay. So it's fewer ideas.
Okay.
Viet Tien.
Yes.
I have less cats. I have fewer cats.
Fewer.
Correct. Fewer cats. Quang.
Yes.
I have less bottles or fewer bottles.
Fewer bottle.
Is correct. Ding Lam.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Traffic. I have less traffic, fewer traffic.
I have less traffic.
Less traffic is
Less traffic.
correct. Less traffic is correct. Ming Ang.
Yes.
I have less chairs. I have fewer chairs.
I have less stress.
It's fewer. Fewer chairs are countable. You can have one chair, two chairs, three chairs. Okay, so it's fewer chairs. Leon.
Yes.
Leon, equipment. I have less equipment or fewer equipment.
I have less.
Less equipment is correct. Okay, equipment is uncountable, so it must be less. Okay, can't have one equipment, two equipment, three equipment, doesn't make sense. Okay, and the last one, Viet Tien, last one.
Yes.
I have less pens, fewer pens.
Fewer.
Correct. Pens are countable. One pen, two pens, three pens. So you have fewer pens. Okay, so that was just a very quick lesson, everyone, just to remind you on the difference between less and fewer. You use less with uncountable nouns like water or music or rice, fewer with countable nouns. I have fewer books than him. I have fewer apples than him. I have fewer ideas than he does. Okay, any questions about any of that? Okay. Right, going to show you another video now. All right, so this one is to do with part one speaking. Going to practice some part one speaking. So I've got some suggestions here from this guy whose name is Keith. So Keith is going to give us 6 suggestions how you can improve your part one speaking. Leon,
Yes,
a part one answer. A part one answer, how many sentences should it be?
I think it's 2.
2 or 3?
Yeah.
2 or 3? 2 or 3? Ming Ang,
Yes.
is it a good idea to try to memorize answers to part one questions? Is it a good idea or not, do you think?
I think
Should you try to memorize part one answers? Yes or no?
no.
No. Okay. And the reason for that is you shouldn't try to memorize answers because, one, memorizing answers doesn't sound natural when you try to give the answer. Okay? Doesn't sound natural. And two, all right, memorizing answers wastes your time. Much better to concentrate on learning how to answer questions naturally using your vocabulary than trying just to memorize an answer. 3, people who are the Ielts examiners can usually tell when you are giving a memorized answer. Okay, they are trained to listen for this. So no, not a good idea to memorize any answers. Remember, the IELTS test is a test of communication, not a test of memory. So they are always trying to test how well you can communicate. And finally, Huang,
Yes.
is it okay to give a one-word answer to a part one question? A one-word answer like yes or no. Is that okay?
I don't think so.
No.
No,
Why is that? Why, Kwang? Can you tell me why?
because it's your own opinion, and you cannot give your own opinion in that.
Actually, you can, Kwang. You can give your own opinion. Okay, you can. That is okay. But a one-word answer is not correct because remember, you have to give 2 sentences, 3 sentences for your answer. That's what they are listening for. If you just give a one-word answer to a question, if someone says to you, "Do you like ice cream?" and you say, "Yes," that is not a good answer. Okay, because remember, you are trying to communicate. So you have to give 2 or 3 sentences why you like ice cream or why you don't like ice cream. Does that make sense, Kwang?
Yes.
Okay, so giving an opinion, Kwang, is fine. Okay, giving your own opinion, that is okay. But you cannot just give one-word answers. You always have to give reasons or explain. Okay, let's have a listen, hear what Keith is going to tell us.
I'm going to show you 6 things you can do to significantly improve your IELTS speaking answers. Let's do it. Hello, it's Keith from the Keith Speaking Academy, here to help you become a more confident speaker of English and to help many of you ace your IELTS speaking test. Speaking of which, today I'm going to give you 6 simple and easy to follow tips that will significantly improve your IELTS speaking answers for part 1 of the test. If you find these useful, you can download the PDF and practice these again and again in your own free time. Let's begin with tip number 1. Right, number 1, shadow my shorts. I don't mean shadow like the shadow from the sun and the tree. And my shorts, I don't mean my shorts. I mean to shadow, the verb to shadow, which means to listen to an audio and to repeat it at the same time. Well, almost at the same time. You're like a second behind. It's like simultaneous translation, but without translating. You're just repeating. So you play an audio clip, and as you're listening, you're saying the same thing. It's an amazing way of learning and consolidating vocabulary, but also your intonation and your pronunciation, boom, will rock it. It's great. It's not about memorizing the whole answer. It's just, it helps you learn the vocabulary on a deeper level and intonation, right? So shadow my shorts, I mean my short videos. I've got a whole playlist of part 1 answers, and they're short videos, about 30 seconds, ideal for shadowing because you can't concentrate much longer. So you play them and you repeat almost at the same time. Don't stop and repeat. You keep it going and carry on talking at the same time. So that's it. Shadow my shorts. Do that for all of the shorts several times, and already you're going to be improving your answers and your confidence. Tip number 2.
Okay, everyone. So what he means by this, I'll make it very clear. It means that you listen to videos and you repeat the words as they are being said. You shadow them, means follow very closely. Leon, can you try this with me, please? Leon?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say a phrase. I want you to repeat it straight away, okay?
Okay.
Okay, give natural replies.
Give natural reply.
Good. Okay, Ming Ang.
Yes.
Okay, please repeat what I say. Okay, as soon as I say it. Okay? Not too long, not too short.
Not too long, not too short.
Good. Viet Tien.
Yes.
Okay, please shadow my reply. 2 to 3 sentences.
2 to 3 sentences.
Good. Quang. Don't give one-word answers.
Don't give one word answer.
Ding Lam.
Yeah.
Don't memorize answers.
Don't memorize answers.
Good. Okay, so you are shadowing this will help you learn vocabulary, okay, very quickly. If you listen to any video, okay, and then just repeat what they are saying as soon as they have said it. Try not to stop the video, okay? See if you can do it while the video is still going. Does that make sense, Leon, to you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll keep going. Leon, anyone can learn another language.
Yes. They
Yeah,
are.
shadow it. Repeat what I say, Leon. Anyone can learn another language.
Anyone can learn another language.
Ming Ang, you don't have to be a genius.
You don't have to be a genius,
Viet Tien, but you must practice.
But you must practice.
Quang, what is the key to writing and speaking?
What is the key to writing and speaking?
Ding Lam, vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
Leon, read and listen to English 10 minutes every day.
Sorry, can you read again?
Read and listen to English 10 minutes every day.
Read and listen to English 10 minutes a day.
Ming Ang, read the stories that interest you.
read a story industry.
Okay, let's do it. I'll do it again. Read the stories that interest you.
Read a story interests you.
Okay, you missed out the word that. Read the story that interests you.
Read the story that interests you.
Good. Viet Tien, listen to the videos.
Listen to the videos.
Quang, write sentences down.
Write sentences down.
Ding Lam, learn new vocabulary in sentences.
Learn new vocabulary in sentences.
Good. Okay, so that's good. So this, like I say, will help you learn
Okay.
how all the...
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, sorry, Mrs.
Yes,
Ha.
teacher. Okay. I just need to talk something to them. Okay, to explain
Sure,
more.
sure, sure, sure.
Các con đã hiểu thầy đang dạy các con theo cái phương pháp nào không? Tức là shadowing trong tiếng Anh có nghĩa là mình chỉ cần lặp lại cái đúng cái lời mà của người ta nói. Cho nên là bọn con nếu mà bọn con mở vào cái YouTube hoặc là cái podcast nào đó mà thấy rằng là cái giọng văn cái giọng nói ấy, của một cái dịch giả của một cái diễn giả hay của một người đó mà bọn con thích nghe theo thì bọn con cứ bật cái podcast đấy hoặc là một cái đoạn hội thoại đó, xong bọn con lặp đi lặp lại từng lời một. Bọn con có để ý rằng là người nước ngoài khi người ta học tiếng Việt á, thế có những người người ta nói giọng miền Nam, có người ta nói giọng Hà Nội, có người thì người ta học theo cái người kiểu như là người miền Trung á, thì người ta lại nói giọng đúng người miền Trung. Cho nên là đấy chính là cái phương pháp mà thầy đang dạy bọn con đấy, là shadowing là gì, là mình nhắc, mình chỉ lặp lại đúng cái cụm từ, đúng đúng cái câu mà người ta vừa nói á, đúng không? Thế là nếu mà khi mà mình bật mình nghe thì mình bật xong là mình nghe, mình dừng lại xong mình lặp lại đúng câu của người ta, xong sau đó thì cái giọng của mình nó sẽ giống như kiểu như là của cái người mình đang học theo đó, rất là nhiều ảnh hưởng rất là lớn trong việc đấy. Và đấy là cái cách mà mình sẽ luyện để làm sao để cho khi mình nói mình sẽ bật ra và mình thành thạo và mình nhớ dễ hơn, nó nhanh hơn. Ok, thank you teacher.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ha. All right, so hopefully this is a very valuable way of practicing, just learning to use the words that native speakers use, okay, and constructing proper, correct sentences. Does anyone have any questions about that? Anyone have any questions? Okay, what I'm going to do now is just practice with you, all right, get you to answer some part one questions for me. Part one questions. So remember, you have to give me 2 or 3 sentence answers. 2 or 3 sentence answers to these questions. Ming Ang, I will start with you. Are you ready, Ming Ang?
Yes.
Okay, Ming Ang, what colors do you like?
I like pink because in when I was try I see I feel it very
Cứ nói tự nhiên đấy, cứ thoải mái.
con đang không nghĩ được.
Con có cái từ gì, con cần từ gì không?
Con không nghĩ được luôn ấy.
Because she is stuck. Squid
She's
idea.
stuck, of course, of course. So Ming Ang, why do you like pink? Why do you like it? Any reason?
Con chỉ cần nói nó đẹp, nó làm cho tinh thần con relax hơn thôi, ví dụ thế, bịa thật nhanh ra, hiểu không? Đừng nghĩ nó cầu kỳ quá, và đừng nghĩ cái gì đấy mà nó cứ đừng có cho rằng nó cứ cần phải perfect trong cái câu trả lời của mình. Con bây giờ con nói lại đi. Tôi thích màu hồng bởi vì nó đẹp và nó làm cho tôi có cái tâm trạng tốt hơn. Thì những cái từ đấy con đều biết hết rồi mà. Hoặc là tôi cảm thấy tốt hơn. Nếu như khi mình nói từ tâm trạng mình không hiểu thì mình có thể dùng từ là tôi cảm thấy tốt hơn thì cũng ok. Hiểu không? Có nghĩa là mình nói tiếng Anh thôi. Nào con nói lại xem nào.
I like pink because I find it very cute and
Đúng
it
rồi.
makes me relax.
Đúng rồi.
Good.
Đúng rồi.
Very
Rất
good.
chuẩn rồi. Okay.
Much better. And then you could say for another sentence, Ming Ang, something like, for example, my bedroom is colored pink, okay, and I have a pink bag. Something like that. Does that make sense, Ming Ang?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. And just one more correction. You say, when I was a child. Can you say that, Ming Ang? When I was a child.
When I was a child.
Good. Okay. Remember, you have to say a child. Child is a noun, needs an article in front of it like a. When I was a child, I really enjoyed the color pink. Good. Leon, are you ready? Leon.
Yes.
what is the most popular color in Vietnam? Does Vietnam have a most popular color?
I think the most popular color in Vietnam is red and yellow. Uh, because it's the color of the oh my God, I forgot that word.
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, yes.
Yeah.
And
Vietnamese what? Leon? Vietnamese begins
mm,
with F. F. Begins with F. FL, Leon? FL. FLA, Leon? FLA.
black,
Yes, flag.
black,
It is the
yeah,
color of the Vietnamese
black,
flag.
yeah.
All right. Sorry, keep going, Leon.
And I think when everyone see that color, they will feel relaxed and happy.
Okay, good answer, Leon. Good. That's fine. That's all you need to do. Good. Viet Tien,
Yes.
do you like to wear bright or dark colors? Do you have any preference?
Honestly, I would rather wearing dark colors because the first reason it is my favorite color. It creates a very cool looking and suspicious to anyone look at me. Secondly, I think the when I wear the dark color clothes, it would help me feel thinner, so I don't feel too shy when communicating or going outside meeting people.
Okay, very good answer, Viet Tien. Good. Quang,
Yes.
Quang, do you think men and women prefer different colors?
Mm. Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Do you think men and women like or prefer different colors? In other words, do men like some colors and women like other colors? What do you think?
I think men and women can like any color they want. Because it's their like and they love anything they want. So I don't think they need to have a different color between men and women.
Okay, good. Good answer, Kwang. Ding Lam. Ding Lam.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do colors affect your mood or do colors affect the way you feel?
Uh, um,
For example, if you see a red color, do you feel
uh,
more energy? Or if you
uh,
see a dark color, do you feel sleepy?
Con hiểu câu
ờ,
hỏi của thầy không đã, Lâm?
có
Ok.
màu sắc ảnh hưởng đến tâm trạng.
Ảnh hưởng gì đến con, cái màu màu sắc ảnh hưởng gì đến mình á?
If it's blue, I will think so relaxed and exciting. I think blue is so peaceful. I so like it. If it's red, it make me make I am so uh energies have more energies.
That's good. That's good, Ding Lam. If I see red, I feel I have more energy. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Okay, everyone, I'll ask you one more question. This one, by the way, is these questions are about your daily routine. Okay, routine just means the things you usually do every day. Okay, Ming An, Ming An,
Yes.
tell me about your daily routine.
Uh, in morning when I wake up, I eat breakfast and do some exercise. Uh, in afternoon, I learn some subject, and in the
In
dinner
the evening, in the evening,
in the evening I relax and watch movie with my
Okay, good, good. Yeah, good answer. That's good, Ming Ang. Leon,
Yes.
has your daily routine changed since you were a child?
Yes, my daily routine changed when since I was a child. When I was a child, I don't have to go to school, so I wake up at 8 or 9 a.m. every day. But when I have to go to school, I wake up at 6 a.m. Then I'm just brush my teeth, eat breakfast, and go to school. In the evening, I do my homework and watch TV. I cannot just watch TV and go to sleep at 9 p.m.
Okay, good. Very good answer, Liam. Okay, very, very full answers. That's great. Viet Tien, Viet Tien,
Yes.
is there anything you would like to change about your daily routine?
Honestly, I think I don't want to change anything from my daily routine because I think it has been perfect and I don't want to change anything in my daily life. First, I think it will be very complicated to change anything from my daily routine. And second, I don't want to change anything because I've been keep up with it for a long time.
Okay, good answer. Kwang, Kwang,
Yes.
do you think it's important to have a daily routine? In other words, should you do the same things at the same time every day? Is that important?
Uh, I don't I don't think so. You can flexible about time or you can change if it need, but I think not changing is the best way to get relaxed, or if you don't have any work to do, then you just keep it. You don't need to change.
Okay, good, Kwang. That's good. Good English. And finally, Ding Lam. Ding Lam.
Yeah, I'm here.
Is your daily routine different at the weekend?
Is my daily routine
Yeah,
uh,
different at the weekend.
uh at the weekend, my morning I will working in legs, and at afternoon I will cooking and sleep sleep 2 hours, and in night I will watching TV and play in video game.
Okay, that's good. Is that different from what your routine is during the week, Ding Lam?
Yeah.
Yeah, how is it different? How is it different?
Uh, in weeks morning I will uh do homework, and afternoon I will cooking and clean my house. So at night I will uh, um, learn English. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, Ding Lam. That's good. You're good sentences. Okay, everyone, we'll do more practice on this next week. So now I'm going to share with you for the rest of the lesson, we're going to be looking at writing part one. Before I finish the speaking, does anyone have any questions? Okay. Okay, Ming Ang, can you see the graph on your screen?
Yes, teacher.
Good. Lian,
Yes, I can see.
good. Lian, can you please read for me what the graph is about and what you have to do?
The graph below show the average monthly temperatures in three major cities. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant.
Okay, pretty good, Lian. So I just checked some of your pronunciation. So this word here is pronounced, oh, I can't highlight it. Comparisons. Lian, can you
Com
say that, please?
comparison. Comparison.
Comparisons. Sins. Can you say
Comparison.
yes? Yeah. Can you say for me, Lian? Can you make that sound, please, Lian?
Uh,
That
can you hear
sound.
that? Can you hear that?
Better. Okay. Now say sins, Lian. Sins. Good.
Since.
Sins. So it's parisons. Parisons.
Parisons.
Parisons. Again, please, Lian. Parisons.
Parisons.
Better. Comparisons. Comparisons.
Comparisons.
Better. That's much better. Ming Ang. Ming Ang.
Yes.
Comparisons.
Comparisons.
Viet Tien. Comparisons.
Comparisons.
Quang. Comparisons.
Comparisons.
Ding Lam. Comparisons.
Comparison.
Good. Lian. Comparisons.
Comparisons.
Much better. Okay. And the last word in the sentence, relevant. Lian, can you say relevant?
Relevant.
Good. Okay. Much better. Okay. Relevant, by the way, everyone, relevant means things that are useful. Things that are useful about this graph. Things that are useful. Okay, that's what relevant means. Make comparisons where they are useful. If a comparison is, if when you are comparing one thing to another, it's not useful, it's not relevant, you don't need to write about it. Okay, so looking in more detail at this graph, Viet Tien, Viet Tien,
Yes.
what is on the x-axis of this graph, do you think? What is on the x-axis?
The x-axis
What does the
is
x-axis measure?
the temperature.
Correct. Very good. You can see here it says average monthly temperature. So the x-axis, remember when you first look at any graph, you have to look at the x and the y-axis. This is the x-axis, the one that goes up and down, temperatures. Quang, Quang,
Yes.
what is on the y-axis of this graph?
It shows a month.
Correct. Ding Lam, Ding Lam.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the three cities that are being measured on this graph? What are the names of the three cities?
There is Paris, Boston, and Memphis.
Okay. Melbourne. It's pronounced Ding
Melbourne.
Lam.
Sorry.
Melbourne. 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 Okay. Paris, of course, is in France, Boston, America, and Melbourne is in Australia. Okay. So good. So now we understand what the graph is measuring. Okay, measuring temperatures across 1 year. As you can see, there are 12 months here, 1 year. Okay, and it's comparing the different temperatures in these three cities at different times of the year. Okay, so remember when we do task one, the first thing we must do, our first paragraph or first sentence is always a paraphrase of what the graph is about. What the graph is about. All right, so we need to paraphrase this. Okay, so instead of the word Ming Ang, instead of the word shows, what could we
Il
use?
illustrates.
Correct, illustrates. Illustrates. The graph below illustrates. Okay. Average monthly temperatures. Okay. Average monthly temperatures. A little bit hard to paraphrase that, I think. Leon,
Yes.
can you think of any way of paraphrasing average monthly temperatures? Any suggestion?
Mm, the word average, I
Hmm.
think, is can be regular, common, maybe.
Not quite, I think, Leon. Good try, but yeah, it's a bit hard to paraphrase average. Okay, so I would probably keep average. I wouldn't try to paraphrase average. Remember, you don't have to paraphrase every word, just some. So average, little bit hard to paraphrase. Monthly temperatures. Monthly temperatures. Vietnam.
Yes.
Can you think of any way of paraphrasing the phrase average monthly temperatures?
Mm,
I can think of one way. Any idea, Viet-Tien? There is a way. There is a way.
temperatures in every month.
Oh, getting close. Very close. I
Hmm.
would say average um average temperature changes every month. How about that, Viet-Tien?
I think it's okay.
Yeah. Leon, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah, I would say average temperature changes every month. Okay, is one way of paraphrasing that. Still keeps the word average, which is fine, but I instead of saying monthly temperatures, I just say temperature changes every month, which is what monthly means, of course. Okay, Kwang,
Yes.
it says here three major cities. Is there another word I can use instead of major, do you
Uh,
think?
big.
Yes, very good, Kwan. Big. Okay, big. Major just means big. So I could say, to paraphrase this sentence, the graph below illustrates the average temperature changes every month in three big cities. Okay, that is a paraphrase of this sentence. Hope that makes sense to everyone. So you must do this for your first paragraph. Okay, you must do a paraphrase for your first paragraph. Leon, how many paragraphs in a task one answer? How many?
Four paragraph.
Correct. There are four paragraphs. Ming Ang,
Yes.
okay. What is the second paragraph called? Can you remember?
Paragraph.
Yeah, the second paragraph.
Paragraph.
That's the first one. The first one is paraphrase, which we've just
Uh,
done. What is the second paragraph called?
overview.
Very good, Leon. Overview. Okay, overview, everyone, remember, is the most important paragraph because this is where we show that we understand what the graph is telling us. So let's just look at this now a little more closely. The overview is just a summary of the information that you can see. So, Vietnam.
Yes.
Okay, what is the first thing you can see looking at this graph? What is the first thing you notice?
The first thing is Boston.
Hmm.
Uh, Overall, it hasn't changed at all.
Boston hasn't changed at all.
Yes,
That's not quite correct, Viet. You can see the temperature goes up and down, so it does change.
it
Uh, Remember,
can.
I know what you were trying to say. You were saying, well, in January it's the same as in December, but in between it does change. Okay.
Yes,
All right. So you would look at something like this and say, Vientiane, when does Boston have its highest temperature?
in August.
Okay. Does Boston have a bigger range of temperatures than the other cities, Vientiane?
Yes, it does.
It does. Okay. You can quite clearly see, it can be clearly seen that Boston goes from, what is the lowest temperature in Boston, Vientiane?
The lowest temperature is about
About.
4.
Okay. And what is the highest temperature?
The highest is about 33, maybe.
Okay. So Boston has a temperature range of about 30 degrees. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah, you can see about. I'm talking about here, okay? Remember with these, you don't need to be exact. Doesn't matter. Remember, you're giving a summary. So the first thing you would see is Boston is the city with the biggest range of temperatures. Okay, goes
yes,
from here to here and back to here during a year. So a range of about 30 degrees. That is the first thing that you notice. Huang, Huang,
Yes.
Huang. Okay, so did you hear what we were saying? Boston is the city with the biggest temperature range. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, Boston, the temperature has a range of 30 degrees. So then you look for the city that has the least temperature range. Okay, Quan?
I think it's Melbourne.
Okay, what is the temperature range for Melbourne?
It's about
About
15.
yeah, so what is the range of temperature? So the range of temperature for Boston is 30 degrees, about 30 degrees. Can you tell me what the temperature range is for Melbourne?
Uh, about 15.
Less than that. So what's the highest temperature in Melbourne? Quang?
It's about more than 25.
Okay. What is the lowest temperature in Melbourne?
15.
What do you call this, Quang?
Oh,
18? 16.
16.
Okay. And what would you call this here, Quang? About
25. 26.
okay. So what is the difference between 16 and 26, Quang?
One higher, one lower.
No, what is the difference between them? What is the difference between them? It means how many degrees? How many
Oh,
degrees difference in temperature?
10.
Yes. So the range of temperature in Melbourne is 10 degrees.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Kwang?
Yes.
So the lowest temperature is about 16. The highest temperature is about 26. So the range of temperature is 10. The range of temperature for Boston, as you can see, is about 30. So Boston has the biggest range of temperature of the three cities, and Melbourne has the smallest range of temperature of the three cities, only 10. Only 10.
24 triệu 7.
Okay. Ding Lam. Okay, Ding Lam, what else can we say about this graph? Is there anything else?
Anything
The
Is there
most
anything else, Ding Lam, that you notice about this graph?
Melbourne is that is go down and then it go up.
It does. It does, but I'm looking at something else, Ding Lam. When does Boston have its highest temperature?
Boston
When? When does Boston have its highest
and
temperature?
in Earth
In August. Good.
on
And yeah, when does Melbourne have its lowest temperature?
it's in temperature is July.
In July. Okay. So you can see here that Melbourne and Boston are opposites. Okay. So that is another feature. That is another feature. So there are three main features of this graph that I can see. And remember, you are only looking at 2 to 3 main features. Meng Ang, Meng Ang.
Yes.
Okay. Have you been listening to what we've been saying, Meng Ang?
Yes, teacher.
Good. Okay. So what is the first main feature of this graph? Can you remember? Which city has the biggest range of temperatures, Meng Ang?
Boston.
Correct. Which city has the smallest range of temperatures?
Melbourne.
Correct. Okay. And when it is hot in Boston, what is happening in Melbourne? When
Can
it's
you
hot, yeah, when it's hot in Boston, what is happening in Melbourne?
uh in Melbourne
When it's
temperature
hot, yeah, when it's hot in Boston, what is it in Melbourne?
in Melbourne temperature decrease.
Hmm, what is the opposite of hot, Meng Ang?
Cold.
Right. So when it's hot in Melbourne, it is what in Melbourne?
It cold in
Correct.
Melbourne.
It's colder. Yeah, you can see here. It's hot in Melbourne, sorry, hot in Boston here, over 30 degrees, but much colder in Melbourne at that time of year. Okay. And we haven't seen anything about Paris yet. Paris is, what word can we use here, Leon?
Mm,
Okay, I'll give you a sentence. You fill in the missing word, Leon. Okay.
okay.
The temperature range in Paris is something Boston and Melbourne. What is the missing word? The temperature range in Paris is something Boston and Melbourne. Can you guess, Leon?
Um,
The word begins with the letter I. I. The temperature range in Paris is something Boston
mm,
and Melbourne. Does
I don't
anyone know? Viet Tien? What is the missing
Mm,
word? Begins with I. Okay, Leon. I-N. I-N.
in
Mhm. The temperature range in Paris is Boston and Melbourne.
Increase.
Leon, any idea?
Increase.
INB. INB, Leon. Viet
I
Tien,
know.
INB. INB.
Still, I cannot think of anything.
Okay, give you another one. Leon, INBE. INBE. Viet Tien, INBE.
In what? Why?
Anyone else any idea before I give another letter? You know this word, by the way, everyone. You do know this word.
Inbit.
Okay, another letter. INBET, Leon. I know a little bit hard because I'm not writing it down, but see if you can picture it in your mind. Viet Tien,
No,
the
still
temperature
not.
in Paris is INBET, Boston and Melbourne.
In between?
Yes, very
Oh,
good. Very good. Leon,
Yes.
does that make sense now?
Yes.
The temperature range in Paris is in between Boston and Melbourne. Very good, Viet Tien. You can see here on the graph, it's in between the other two. Ming Ang, does that make sense?
Yes.
Quang, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, the temperature range in Paris is in between Boston and Melbourne. Ding Lam, does that make sense to you?
I understand.
Okay, good. Right. What I want you to do now, for maybe the rest of this lesson, I want you to write me the overview. Okay? I'll send you this in chat. I'm just writing to you in chat, everyone. I'll send you the message in a moment. Okay, so hopefully you all remember this. You should always start your overview paragraph with these words. It can be clearly seen that, or overall. Okay? So please write for me now in chat and send it to me, your overview paragraph, which answers your overview paragraph will answer these three questions. Ming Ang, Ming Ang.
Yes.
Okay, what is the first question you have to answer, Ming Ang?
What city has the biggest range of temperatures?
Good. Quang, Quang.
Yes.
What is the second question you have to answer?
What city has the smallest range of temperatures?
Good. And Ding Lam, what is the third question you have to answer in your overview?
What about Paris?
Good. Okay. So we've already talked about this. Please see now if you can write about it. Okay. You have to begin with, it can be clearly seen that, it can be clearly seen that. Hmm. What, Leon? It can be clearly seen that. What is the next word going to be, Leon?
It can be clearly seen that
What's the
uh,
next word? Just one word. What is the next word going to be?
Boston.
Correct. Thank you, Leon. Good. You are on the right track. Okay, so Leon has given us a clue. The first word is after it can be clearly seen that is Boston. Okay, but then you have to finish the sentence. Okay, and the same for the next two sentences as well. Does that make sense, Leon, what I want you to do?
Yes.
Good. Viet Tien, does it make sense what I'm asking you to do?
Yes.
Good. Quang, do you understand what I want you to do?
Yes.
Okay, Ding Lam, do you understand what I want you to try and do?
Yeah,
Okay, good. And Ming Ang,
Yes.
do you understand what I want you to try and do?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. All right. So everyone, I'm waiting now for your answer. So please write to me in chat your overview, beginning with it can be clearly seen that. I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes to do this. So you are just writing 2 or 3 sentences. 2 or 3 sentences. That's all. And remember, you don't need to put any numbers in your overview. No numbers are needed in your overview. Okay, thank you, Ding Lam. I have yours. Thank you. Thank you, Viet Tien. I've got yours. Thank you, Ming Ang. Okay, so I have Ding Lam, I have Ming Ang, I have Viet Tien. Quang, I have yours. Lian, I have yours. Okay, thank you, everyone. So I'm just looking at your answers now. Okay, you've all done pretty well. Just some grammar corrections. First of all, I'm going to send you a model answer. Okay, Ming Ang, can you see the model answer?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what I want you to do, everyone, I want you to shadow me like we practiced before. Okay? I want you to shadow me. So repeat the words that I say straight away when I call your name. Are you ready, Ming Ang? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. It can be clearly seen.
It can be
Ming Ang?
clearly seen that button has the biggest range
Sorry,
of.
sorry, Ming Ang. Just shadow what I say. Okay? Okay, Ming Ang?
Yes.
So it can be clearly seen.
It can be clearly seen.
Liam, that
Yes.
Boston has the biggest range of temperatures.
Does Boston have the biggest range of temperature?
Viet Tien, while Melbourne is the city,
While Melbourne is the city,
Quang with the smallest temperature range.
with the smallest temperature change.
Ding Lam, Paris's range of temperatures is in between Boston and Melbourne.
Paris range of temperatures is in between Boston and Melbourne.
Good. Okay. Good to practice the shadowing. Okay. So you will see my model answer. This is not the only answer you can give, by the way, but it is correct. But it is just one way you can write this. Others of you have written a different way, and that is also fine. There is not just one correct answer. So, first of all, Ding Lam, Ding Lam.
Yeah.
Okay, looking, can you see your answer, Ding Lam? Can you see
Yeah.
it? Okay, so it should say Melbourne is the city. Melbourne is the city
Oh, yeah.
with the smallest range of temperatures. Okay, Ding Lam?
Yeah, that's that.
Okay, Melbourne is the city. Remember, city is a noun, needs an article in front of it. Melbourne is the city with the smallest range of temperatures. Paris's range of temperatures is in between Boston and Melbourne. Good, Ding Lam. That's pretty good. Pretty good answer.
Thank you.
Okay, Ming Ang. Ming Ang.
Yes.
Okay. It can be clearly seen Boston has the biggest range of temperatures, while Melbourne has the smallest range of temperatures, and Paris is in between the two cities. Wow, Ming Ang, that's great. Very good, Ming Ang.
Thank you.
All correct, Ming Ang. Very good. No mistakes. Well done. Viet Tien.
yes,
Okay. Boston had the biggest temperature in this case doesn't need an S. Okay, Viet.
yes,
Boston had the biggest temperature range in the survey, not temperatures. All right. Meanwhile, Melbourne had, not was having. Okay. Melbourne had. All right. Just past simple. Okay, Viet Tien?
yes,
Melbourne had the least temperature changes in the same period. I think better, can you see your last sentence, Viet Tien?
yes,
Best, I think, to start this, the way you've got this sentence may be best to start with the word temperatures, okay? As in, temperatures in Paris were in between the other two cities. Okay?
yes,
Does that make sense for you, Tia? Nice and simple. Nice. Remember, keep it simple. Temperatures in Paris were in between the other two cities. Okay, Viet-Tien?
okay,
Okay, makes it nice and simple, much simpler than what you've written and more correct. Temperatures in Paris were in between the other two cities. All you have to do. Quang.
Yes.
Okay, can be clearly seen Boston is the city with, not has, Quang. Okay, with. Boston is the city with the biggest range of temperatures. Okay?
Okay.
Melbourne is the city with the smallest range of temperatures. The range of temperatures in Paris. Okay, Quang?
Okay.
The range of temperatures in Paris. Finish the sentence for me, Quang. Can you finish the sentence? Just tell me.
Uh,
The range of temperatures in Paris is
in between Melbourne and Boston.
correct. Very good, Quang. Okay, you understand? The range
Yes.
of temperatures in Paris. So you put Paris in the middle of the sentence. The range of temperatures in Paris is in between Melbourne and Boston. Okay, but pretty good, Kwang. Any questions, Kwang?
No.
Okay, Leon.
Yes.
It can be clearly seen that Boston has the biggest range of temperatures in every month. Doesn't need to be plural in the sentence, okay? Just needs to be every month, okay?
Okay.
Biggest range of temperatures in every month. While Melbourne has the smallest, best you add the word range, Leon, to that sentence, okay?
Okay.
While Melbourne has the smallest what? Need to say smallest range, okay?
Okay.
So it would be, so I'll repeat your sentence. It can be clearly seen Boston has the biggest range of temperatures in every month, while Melbourne has the smallest range. Don't need to say besides, okay? Don't need that. So just start off with Paris. In fact, same as what Viet Tien did. Your sentence would sound better like this, Leon. Temperatures in Paris. Temperatures in Paris. Finish the sentence for me, Leon. Temperatures in Paris
Are in between Boston and Melbourne.
is correct. Very good, Leon. Is absolutely correct. Good.
Yeah.
Well done. Temperatures in Paris are in between Boston and Melbourne. Much simpler than what you've written. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. And correct. And 100% correct. Any questions, Leon?
No thanks.
Okay, good. So I hope everyone understands the corrections I have made to your writing. Next week's almost time to finish the lesson. Next week, we will look at the 2 detail paragraphs. Okay, the final 2 paragraphs to finish this essay. But just to summarize, remember the first sentence of your answer, the first paragraph must be a paraphrase. Must be a paraphrase. So again, looking at the first sentence of this, we can say the graph. What is another word for below? Ming Ang, below. Can you think of one?
Uh,
Begins with you. Begins with you. You.
you.
Yeah. Another word for below. Okay. UN. UN. Leon? UN.
Under.
Close. You got part of it. There's a bit more though, Leon. Viet Tien? Viet Tien?
Yes.
Yeah. The graph. What is another word for below that begins with under?
Underneath.
Um.
Yes. Did you say that, Leon? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Underneath.
Underneath. Underneath.
um,
Underneath. Okay, Viet Tien, does that make sense?
yes.
Underneath and below mean the same thing. Okay, Ming Ang?
Yes.
Okay, underneath means the same as below. So we could say the graph underneath. What's the next word, Ming Ang? What's the next paraphrase word?
Uh, illustrates.
Good. The graph underneath illustrates. Kwang, what can we say here?
What
The graph underneath illustrates the average what? The average,
I have no idea.
you can't remember? Viet Tien, can you remember what we did with this?
Yes.
The graph underneath illustrates the average what?
Average temperatures in
The average temperature. There's a new word we need to put in here. Begins with CH. Anyone remember? The graph underneath illustrates the average temperature. Next word begins with CH. CHA. Leon?
Mm,
The average temperature, CHA,
Change.
changes. Okay? The average temperature changes every what?
Every month.
Every month. Good. Every month in 3. What is another word we can use instead of major? Ding lam. Ding lam.
Dạ, dạ.
Yeah. What is another word we can use instead of major?
Mày
A synonym. A synonym instead of major. Can you remember?
ai
Okay. Kwang, can you tell him, please?
Is big.
Big. Okay. So one way of paraphrasing this is to say the graph underneath illustrates the average temperature changes every month in 3 big cities. Okay? That is one way we can paraphrase this. Okay. All right, everyone, that's the end of the lesson for today. Thank you for all concentrating so hard. Thank you for working hard. That's great, everyone. Okay? You work very hard. So, like I say, next week we will continue on with more speaking, and we will also continue with the detail paragraphs for that graph. Are there any questions before we finish? Any questions? Okay,
Yeah.
Leon, good luck with your exam for
thank
this
you.
week.
Thank
Okay,
you,
hope it
teacher.
goes well. And anyone else who has an exam this week, hope it goes well. Okay, I'll be thinking of you. Otherwise, have a great week, and I will see you all next Sunday, everyone. Thăm biệt. Thăm biệt,
Bye.
See you,
everyone.
teacher.
Thăm
Good
biệt.
bye,
God
teacher.
bless all.